All right, positive energy all the time. Rep your city. Rep your city. I'm representing Chicago, Illinois. Shout out to everybody on Twitch, Kick, Facebook, and YouTube. We have San Jose also in the building. So rep your city, rep your city. I'm going to go and watch day 3 of the Tupac trial. I caught day 2 late last night. I'm going to give you a quick update on that before I go watch day 3. Day 2 was a little crazy. We're going to talk about that. That was a little crazy. We got a lot of South Carolina in the building. Rep your city, represent your city. So I caught the trial last night, late last night. We got Dallas in the building. And, oh boy, it was interesting. We got Quakertown in the building. You all come on in, come on in. Yesterday was real interesting. So they put Mob James on the stand. Mob James got on the stand. And he had became very irritated with the defense. KPD's defense lawyer was really pressing Mob James. And Mob James was, for those that know about Mob James and know about allegations on Mob James, Mob James was really overdoing it with trying to prove he's not a snitch. Because there have been snitching allegations thrown in Mob James' direction. So Mob James was very emotional with the defense. And he did not want to snitch on Keefe D, which he actually ended up snitching on Keefe D, which was absolutely crazy. It was unbelievable because in his effort not to snitch, he was snitching. I never did that. This is a case where he's been accused. Keefe D is being accused of unaliving Tupac or being involved with Tupac being unalived. And they was asking, the defense was asking Mob James questions. And at one point, Mob James got to the point where he started saying, I'm not going to send this man to jail. I'm not going to tell on this man. I'm not going to send this man to jail. And I said, you are sending him to jail for sure. You're admitting that he's involved. You're admitting that you have information that could send him to jail. He kept saying, I'm not going to send this man to jail. Y'all want me to send this man to jail. Dry snitching. Yes. He says, I'm not going to send this man to jail. Y'all trying to get me, I'm not going to tell y'all stuff that could send this man to jail. I was tripping out. Boy, I was tripping. Oh man, that's day two. And this is the most strangest case I have ever. I've never seen nothing like this. Starting out with Keefe D telling on himself for a good, it was almost an hour, I guess, on tape, listening to himself snitch on himself in front of himself. That was day one. That was the craziest thing I ever seen in a courtroom. Ever. Was listening to Keefe D tell everything on himself and testify against himself while he's listening to himself, testifying on himself, was just crazy, day one. So now we get to day two, and we got Mob James trying to prove he's not a snitch by saying, I'm not going to tell you that he unalived Tupac. Basically, basically, he kept saying, I'm not going to tell him, I'm not going to send this man to prison. I'm not going to do it. I said, you're telling right now. What is wrong? So he was trying to prove that the snitch allegations against him a couple years ago is not valid. 2 days of some of the strangest stuff I ever seen in a trial. That was so awkward. He said a bunch of times too, you trying to get me to tell on this man. I'm not telling what he did. I'm not going to tell that he did it. He said, oh man, I don't know what to say. I'm like, what the heck? And then Keefe D's lawyer, he's got the hand tattoo. And I was like, he must not have had no money because that was like a budget lawyer, with the hair all out. I'm not trying to judge him, but he looked like he came straight from a rock concert or something. I'm like, this lawyer, I guess, he don't have no money. Because I'm like, this is the worst lawyer. This is the worst defense attorney you could get. I mean, he's horrible. That defense attorney he's not helping Keefe D too much. And then Keefe D was sitting there mean mugging, looking like a gangster. I was like, well, Keefe D, you're not supposed to be looking like a gangster. Like, stop with the mean mugging. He's like, bro, you look like a gangster. Why are you dressed like a gangster? Like, why do why didn't he have on like a gray suit, a more pedestrian look? Like he was dressed like a mob boss. I said, bro, what are you doing? What are we doing? Keefe D looked like a mob boss. Nice tie, nice shirt, nice jacket, but it was too mobby. Like, why do you have on black? Why are you dressed like a gangster? And why are you looking like a gangster? He was looking like a gangster. For sure. The haircut, the way he was looking at the people testifying. I'm like, Keefe D, come on. But it was hard to listen to because somebody in there kept coughing. And I'm like, why don't they make that person leave? Like, I don't know what they was wrong with them, but if it's something contagious, the whole court will have whatever that is. I mean, they was hawking for the long. It was crazy. Did anybody watch it? Did you hear? Sound like the lady coughing constantly. Did Chad kept saying, "Would you ask her to leave? Would you ask her to leave? Would you ask her to leave?" And she just kept coughing. So now today, everybody's going to be looking for the coughing lady. They're going to be listening for the cougher. That was weird. And so Mob James basically snitched without snitching. Then he was trying to tell jokes to the judge. It was strange, okay? It was so strange. Mob James was snitching without snitching. I'm not going to tell y'all that he did it, basically. I mean, that's basically what he was saying. Y'all trying to get me to send this man to jail. I'm not going to send this man to jail. I've never seen that before in court. I've never seen that. The judge, she looked kind of young. She's not really doing a good job because that should have been stopped, it seemed like. It seemed like a little theatrical for a courtroom. He in there telling jokes and laughing and like, hold on, let's call a timeout. Uh, uh, Mr. James, this is a courtroom. No, I would have told him. This is a courtroom, Mr. James. Behave yourself like you're in a professional courtroom, okay? Don't talk to me. Talk to the lawyers. Leave the jokes out and all that. You know? She let him do that too much, and then he was all irritated. The Chad didn't know I was irritated. I know I was irritated because he's got snitch allegations. So on the stand, he just was really thinking about his snitch allegations. I'm not going to be a snitch, basically, what he was really saying, but he was hurting Keefe D. I'm not going to snitch. Everybody say I'm a snitch, and I'm not going to snitch on this man. That's basically what he was doing for people that really be outside. We know what you're doing, Keefe D. He trying to prove that he not no snitch. Oh boy, he was trying to prove. You want me to tell on this man? I'm not going to tell on this man. He started out by saying, I didn't want to come. They made me come here, y'all. I'm not a snitch. Basically, it was weird. Did anybody see it? Am I lying? Mob James was going out his way to prove he's not a snitch because of his snitch allegations. They made me come here. He made that clear. He did not want to be there. He told him, get your lawyer, man. Yeah, he told him. He told him to get your lawyer. That was hilarious. Oh my God, that was. I wish I should have had a beer or something. I should have, had a little, you know, and little, I should have for sure. It was strange. It was very strange. And Mob James was acting up in the courtroom and saying unnecessary stuff. and kept saying that he not gonna tell everybody uh, that Keefe D is guilty. Yeah, he said, I'm not sending this man to jail. You are. He sure did. He said it. He sure, he sure. Oh man. Oh my God. He said, I'm not sending this man to jail. You are. I was like, so he going to jail. It was crazy. That's what he said. In front of the jury and everybody. He said, he going to jail, but I'm not sending him. I said, no, no. I couldn't. I'm glad. Thank you for reminding me, Ice Rock. Oh, Ice Rock. I'm glad you reminded me because I wasn't, man, I didn't even get to take no notes because I was too busy doing the Scooby Doo. I do the Scooby Doo 2 days. I did the Scooby Doo. You know, Scooby, I used to be looking. That's how I was looking. I was looking. I really couldn't even pay attention both days. I was too shocked. The first day, I'd never seen nothing like that. They played an hour of him telling on himself. He testified against himself and never talked. And that's the first time I seen a man tell on himself and never opened his mouth. It was weird. That was day one. Then day two, here we go with Ma James. Oh my God. And he trying to be funny and he's self-conscious about his teeth. Right? Yeah. And then Reggie said it used to be a C head. You know? Said at first, you can tell. Yeah, he apologized. He said to Keefe D, brother, whatever you going through. He was really trying to hide them snitch allegations. It was clear. All right, Ma. We know everybody say you're a snitch. And the last thing you want to do right now is be back on the stand. You know, everybody back in the hood. Look at his snitch ass back on the stand telling. So he like, I'm not telling. I am not telling that he was involved with unaliving Tupac. He was like, I'm not sending him to prison. He gonna go, but I ain't gonna send him. You know, basically, I swear, I am not exaggerating. It was weird, and then somebody was like, "Oh man, it was crazy." I'm like, "Excuse the cougher." I mean, they wasn't like coughing like they was. They was coughing the whole time a lot. I mean, a lot. Like I don't know what was wrong with them, but the chat kept saying everybody in there going to be sick. I mean, the whole time this person coughed for a long time. They coughed all through Mob James' testimony, and they coughed all through Reggie Wright testimony. It was so strange. Didn't cover their mouth, I don't think either. It was strange. It was irritating, and they was close to the mic too. They was right by the mic wherever they was. I'm thinking it's the stenographer, maybe. I'm thinking it's the stenographer. It's somebody that was right there by the mic. It was loud. It was so strange. It was so strange. They was coughing a lot. I mean, a lot. Like something was really wrong with him. He so it ain't that much signals in the world, bro. You should, man, go watch it. It was weird. It was loud. It was obnoxious. Then Reggie Wright's already sick. That's what I kept thinking. Like Reggie's still sick from COVID. Don't you see he's practically in a wheelchair? And they coughing on Reggie like that. That was strange. So that's how it started out with KPD saying he not gonna tell everybody. I mean, with Mob James saying he not gonna tell everybody that KPD did it. You know, basically, he basically, he basically, you know what I'm saying? Okay, hey, hey, I swear to God, it's so beautiful. Mob James went out his way to tell us that he's not going to tell us that Keefe D did it. I am not going to tell y'all that this man did it. I'm not going to do it. I am not going to send him to prison. I'm not sending him to prison for what he did. Basically. I've never heard nothing like that. I This is the first 2 days crazy. I'm gonna watch today, y'all. I just wanted to give you a quick breakdown today. I'm gonna watch today. But so far, the 2 days have been the by far. This is by far the strangest case I've ever seen. By far. It's nothing close already. It's to the moon. It's to the moon with first with Keefe D listening to himself snitch for an hour, and then Mob James not snitching. He was not snitching. He was like, I'm not gonna get up here and tell y'all what he did, that he did it. I'm not sending him to prison, okay? Because he's supposed to go to prison, but I'm not sending him. It was like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, oh, I'm watching it on crime, whatever. Hold on, let me let you know. Hold on. He said, he did it, but I'm not law and crime. I'm watching it on Law and Crime. It's scheduled. Why are they coming on till 3 p.m. today? Uh, oh, because I'm behind them. They're on the West Coast. So that's gonna be 1 o'clock out there. That's gonna be 1 o'clock. That's good. That give me some time. Uh, this is where I'm watching it. Oh boy, is it strange? Is it strange? Yes, it is very, 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 very strange. Very strange. Once again, this is where I watch it at. They have the best coverage. I think the most professional coverage. But oh boy, I've never seen anything like this. So that's 2 days in a row. Day one, Keefe D sitting there listening to Keefe D testify on Keefe D. That was crazy. That is the craziest court moment ever. And been watching courts, I think the first main court TV I watched was OJ. I think that was my first time. And I've been watching the big ones ever since then. But the Keefe D, listening to Keefe D tell everything Keefe D did, ain't nobody out doing that. So then we go to day two, and Mob James is swearing up and down that he not gonna tell us that he knows that Keefe D did it, which was also crazy, right? Crazy. Mob James is like, I'm not going to send this man to prison. I'm not going to do it. He basically said, I could send him to prison, but I won't do it. Y'all going to send him. That's what he said. Boy, Mob James was steaming. This Jones, Mob James looked like Mob J. He looked like a real gangster. He was so mad. Oh, he was mad. He couldn't even hide it. He was steaming. He was steaming. Mob James kept saying, I'm not sending this man to prison. I know he did it, but I'm not telling. That's basically what he was saying. He was like, I know he did it. I could send him to prison because he is guilty. He is guilty. And I'm not telling you. Basically. Am I lying? He said he is guilty. He's supposed to go to prison. But I'm not sending him, and I'm not telling. Y'all got to lock him up on y'all own. I'm not sending him to prison. Y'all are, he said. I said, oh, no. Oh. He basically said he going to prison. Hey, Richard, did you see that? He said, I'm not sending him to prison. Y'all are. He basically said he going to prison. He is going to prison. But I'm not going to tell you that he did it. I know he did it. But I'm not telling you. Then he said, get your lawyer, man. Yeah, he told him. I was like, oh, what? He told him, get your lawyer. Unbelievable. And then when he got to testifying, he started cockeying and keying with the judge. The judge looking at him like, bruh, this is not a bar. We're not at the bar, bro. We're not at a tavern. We're not at a club. We're not at the bar. What are you doing, sir? Okay, bye. Did Mob James? No, Mob James was at Club 226. Or 622. I think it's 226. Or 662. Yeah, 662. He was at Club 662. He ain't seen nothing. But he know he did it. But he is not going to tell us. And he know he going to prison. But he not going to send them. They are, he said. He said, he confirmed. Oh, you wait a minute. He got up there. Mom James got up there and said, "Oh, you going to prison. You going to prison, but I'm not going to send you." That's what he said. He said, "You going to prison. Yeah, you going to prison, but I'm not going to tell them and I'm not going to send you." He also, and Reggie Wright said he trusted the mob Pirus over the cops, which let that sink in. Let that sink in. And the thing is, like, that was the truth too. Yeah, Richard, that was the truth. That was deep. He basically said, these cops super dirty. I trust the mob Pyrus or the Crips over these LA cops. I said, they just, bro, your daddy's a cop. Reggie Wright basically said the cops is super crooked. Oh my God. Yes, he said that. And what was crazy is when he said it, everybody in the court, it made sense in the court too. Like that was some spooky, because he sounded crazy, but it actually made sense. That was deep. That was super deep. Because everybody was like, we understand. Did you see their faces? Hey, Richard, did you see everybody's reaction when he said it? They was not shocked. They was like, yep. That's the part. Him saying it was crazy, but when I looked at the judge and everybody, they was like, that's understandable. And I was like, whoa, whoa. It wasn't like that sound crazy. Nobody looked at him like it sounded crazy. And the way he said it, he said it straight out. He didn't say it like he was slipping or nothing. Oh, that was crazy. That was crazy. Richard, that was crazy. The way he said it with conviction. He said, yeah, I'd rather have the mob Peru than the police. Yeah, I used to live in LA. I lived in LA, but when I first moved to LA, it was a little more like older, more like the country, you know? See, the way LA is set up is they always talk about LA as the West Coast, but LA is down south too. It's not just west, it's southwest. So when I first moved out there in Compton, they had chickens and roosters and stuff in Compton. I live right there where the train go down the street. I think that's Long Beach Boulevard. I'm not sure remember the street, but yeah, they had roosters and chickens, and it was the country kind of. It was like as the country's turning into the city. So it was, and it wasn't until I came back from LA that all them cars were bouncing and everybody had all them submachine guns and all that. But Reggie Wright's testimony was crazy too. And Reggie Wright basically was like, I was a police officer and I was a crook, like straight up. Reggie was like, I was a gangster crook. Like I grew up a decent kid and I turned to a gangster. Basically, his testimony was strange too. He was like, yeah, no, I wasn't involved in none of that at first. I said, what the hell? Reggie's attitude was like, no, I grew up, my dad was a cop and I was decent at first. But I knew all these gangs because I used to play baseball and I knew about them when I was little. I know them all. Mob James is my buddy. I was like, oh my God. He basically like, yeah, I'm a gangster. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a gangster. Yeah, I work for sure. Was I official? No, I was just working for him, telling him what's going on while he was locked up. He had the ladies handling the money and everything. I said, yee. And I was going to see Suge 4 times a week. And he was like, we ran the inside of the club, but we had the Pyrus outside. I was like, yo, nah. Uh, they said Reggie's dad was a good cop, but Reggie chose to be corrupt. In the words of Mob James, I'm not finna tell on Reggie's daddy. Basically, I am not going to accuse Reggie's daddy for being somewhat suspicious in the streets. Y'all are, basically. in the words of Bob James, I am not finna accuse Reggie's cop for being a little shaky. Y'all are. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Oh boy, that was crazy. So Reggie Wright was like, yeah, and so you know we was inside and we had the Pyrus outside, and we didn't really pay them. They were shaking people down to get in early. He was like, he was like, you get up. He was like, Mom James was making money by bringing guys to the front of the line and letting them in. He'd go find the bowlers and shake them down to get in early. So we didn't have to pay Mob. Mob was paying Mob. He said we didn't have to pay Mob James. Mob James was out there getting it, shaking people down to get in early. I couldn't. I was like, oh my God. Keefe D was looking like y'all sending me to prison. Yeah, Keefe D was looking like y'all sending me to prison. And Mob James was like, I'm not sending you to prison. They are. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my. So he, he, Bob James looked at Keefe D and said, I'm not sending this man to prison. Y'all are going to send him to prison. You going to prison. Basically, he was basically, you told Keefe D. I swear you can't make it. In so many words, Mob James told Keefe D, I'm not sending you to prison. They are. I couldn't believe my ear. I said, what is going on? And then Mob James tried to tell a couple of them, old uncle jokes, the uncle that be drinking and tell jokes. He was trying to tell jokes to the judge. Yeah, yeah, I'm a kiki. The judge was looking at him like, sir, you just get on with the testimony.